Hi, friend. Welcome back. Are you trying to change your mindset or your attitude towards life by using affirmations, but you're seeing that maybe the results that you wanted aren't coming very quickly, or there's something just difficult about implementing the practice to actually make a change in your thoughts? Well, then, this video is for you. In case you're new here, my name is Adrian, and I'm your Embodied mindfulness trainer. In today's video, we're going to learn my top 5 reasons that your affirmations are not working. So stick around. So why aren't your affirmations working, or why is there so much resistance coming up in your system as you're trying to implement these new thoughts? Well, reason number 5 is that you're being too forceful. You're stirring up resistance in your system because you're trying to force yourself to believe something that deep down you actually don't believe. So it feels like you're lying to yourself because you are. And the more you lie to yourself, the more your body and your subconscious mind are going to reject every affirmation and every new belief that you're trying to install in your system. So what do? Instead of forcing yourself to think differently or forcing yourself to accept something that doesn't feel quite comfortable yet, then what you can do is start using words to qualify the sentence. For example, instead of forcing yourself to believe a statement like, I love myself, you could try using words like, I could love myself, or imagine it would feel good for me to love myself, or I'm willing to love myself. See, using phrases like I'm willing to, or nice, or open to the idea of doing XYZ instead of just directly to whatever the information is, using that kind of a method will get around the resistance that can come up in your system, and it will allow information to go into your subconscious. It'll allow you to speak the sentence out loud and actually believe what you're saying. You're trying to get over the fear of attempting something new. Maybe there's an idea in your mind that it's too difficult, or I've never done anything like this, or etc., etc. So instead of trying to forcefully convince yourself that this is going to be perfectly fine, or it's going to be easy, I'm not going to have any problems, you can use maybe, or it seems like. You could say, it seems like things are going to work out. Maybe it's possible that it's easier than I'm expecting it. Just being gentle, that's the point. Instead of just trying to shove the affirmation into your mind and getting all of this resistance, which is actually backfiring on you, what you can do is just use some of these words and phrases like maybe, it seems like, could, in order to soften the affirmation itself. And that way you can speak it and confidently feel that you're telling the truth, that you're not lying to yourself. Reason number 4 that your affirmations are not working. You're not giving yourself credit and finding evidence to support the affirmations that you're affirming. If you're just affirming these things over and over, but you don't see any evidence, you're not supporting what you're trying to affirm. If you're telling yourself, everyone loves me, I attract new friends and lovers very easily, you're not seeing any evidence of it. What you need to do is look for the minimum indication of evidence. For example, any excuse that you can use to point out the fact that more people are paying attention to you, or that more people are appreciating you, you should use that as evidence. For example, you were on the phone with your grandmother, she said, I love you at the end. You use that as evidence and speak to yourself in this way. People love me. I'm receiving love every day. You're walking down the sidewalk and you stumble upon a quarter on the floor. You pick it up and you let this be evidence to you that, yes, money is flowing to me effortlessly every day in so many unexpected ways. If you notice that when you're practicing mindfulness, maybe the last time you sat down for practice, it was just slightly easier for you to relax into your seat. You didn't feel so much resistance to the practice, then use that as evidence and say to yourself, it looks like things are getting easier for me. Things are getting easier and easier as the days go by. And as you're giving yourself credit for all of these things, you need to notice how you feel about it. Maybe when you are affirming without looking for evidence, you notice after you speak the affirmation, you can feel some resistance in your body. But now, as you look for evidence in your real life and you let that evidence be truly an indication in your mind that what you're affirming actually is true, notice how you feel as you affirm it. Notice the fact that it feels easier to say it. Notice the fact that you feel lighter as you're speaking. And notice the entire emotional experience in your body as you speak these affirmations, supported by the evidence that you're observing. So whatever the affirmation is that you're trying to affirm, but you are noticing resistance about, take a moment and look for all of the evidence, even the tiniest indication that something is making progress. More than zero, then it's progress. Even if it's not a huge noticeable step, even if it's not a huge result that's worth bragging to someone about, you need to take that tiny little result, that tiny little indication of progress, and magnify it in your mind, magnify it for yourself, and consider that to be evidence of your progress, and speak about it, think about it, journal about it with a feeling of, I'm making progress. Things are getting easier. This is not as hard as I expected. I'm making progress, etc., etc. If you don't give yourself the credit, if you don't look for the evidence, then your affirmations are just going to feel like you're lying to yourself. That's really going to defeat the whole purpose of your practice. So look for evidence. Reason number 3 that your affirmations are not working for you. You're being too boring. You're not taking the time to get into a mood when you're speaking these affirmations. You're not evoking a feeling. You're not evoking a character. Maybe you speak the affirmations in a funny voice, or maybe you speak them in a really somber or epic kind of serious voice. Evoke a feeling of seriousness, or evoke a feeling of sacredness, or evoke a feeling of fun. Evoke an emotional experience for yourself when you are speaking these affirmations. Don't just read them off the paper as if it's reading off of your grocery list. And do things to be creative when you're writing your affirmations or when you're reciting them to yourself. Make them rhyme. Practice alliteration. Use repeating letters. Use repeating phrases. You can start your affirmations with a certain phrase and then end each one of them with something else. For example, you can say, I love the feeling of meeting new people. I love the feeling of expanding my social circle. I love the feeling walking around in the sunshine. Whatever your affirmations are, starting them all with the same phrase, I love the feeling of XYZ. Or getting into a rhythm pattern with it, the timing as you speak them, not just saying them randomly, but saying them on a rhythm, turning it into a song, moving your body as you're repeating information. You close your eyes and maybe you want to rock forward and back. You want to rock side to side. Maybe you want to involve your hands and get into, creating some kind of hand symbol, some mudras. You want to study some of these symbols and things like that so that you can embody the feeling of whatever it is that you're affirming. Let it be a full body experience. Your mind and your body are one unit. It's a continuum, a psychosomatic continuum, as they call it, a body-mind continuum. So employ all of it, use all of it. Don't just limit yourself to just speaking the words and thinking that's going to work. You need to turn it into a song, turn it into a poem, make it fun, put some rhythm in it, put some rhyming, okay? Use flowery language, use epic language, use poetic language. See, I'm already getting kind of worked up just right now. Use this language, use that language, use the other language. You have to really feel what you're saying and find a rhythm with your words and use your entire body as you're speaking. Don't just let it be this kind of, oh, okay, I have to repeat these actions. Or you have to make it something entertaining. You have to really involve all of your emotions and use any excuse for it to feel good in the experience. That way you can make a real impact. And that way it'll feel like something that you actually want to do on a regular basis. Because you can't just do it one time for your mindset to actually shift. You have to create a habit of practicing on a consistent basis so that you can get the impact that you're looking for. Reason number 2 that your affirmations are not working, you're not fully embodied. This is kind of related to the last reason, but it's more about your body. If you're just speaking your affirmations without really feeling what you are intending to express, and you're just hoping that the words themselves will have some kind of impact without really feeling into what you're speaking, then you're going to keep feeling like you're not getting the results that you want. Instead of just dryly saying these words without really feeling them, instead of just saying the words, feel the words. What are you affirming for? Are you affirming for an attitude change? Are you affirming so that you can change your mindset about money? Are you affirming so that you can become more brave, so that you can have the courage to expand your comfort zone and go do things that are beyond what you've done before? Well, then when you're speaking about these things, just feel the courage welling up inside of you. Take on a posture that expresses courage. Notice what your shoulders are doing. Are you hunched over like this as you're speaking? Maybe you want to open the shoulders and open the chest. Maybe you're lifting the arm. You're expressing a power pose. Maybe you are into a posture that reflects feeling of what you're trying to express. Don't just rely on the words and the meaning of the word. Combine the meaning of the words at the level of mind, the vibration of the sound at the level of your speech, and the emotional response and posture of your body at the level of your interaction with space around you. On all 3 of those levels, get them aligned as you're speaking these words. And reason number 5 that your affirmations are not working exactly the way you were expecting is that you're not practicing mindfulness in conjunction with your self-talk and your positive affirmations. There's so many studies out there that show that if you practice mindfulness on a regular basis, you're going to increase your neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity is the ability for your neurons, your brain cells, to create new connections with each other. When we are conditioned into certain kinds of behavior, we have certain kinds of habits of speech, certain habits of thinking. All of that can be reflected in the physical shape of our neurons, the pathways that they create with each other. They link up with each other and create these long chains of neurons that send information all the way across each other. And the more information that is sent from one neuron to the next in the same pattern, it's kind of like when you go sledding down a snowy hill. And if you keep sledding down that same pathway, that pathway develops a deep groove. And then it's easier and easier to go down that same pathway. But then if you sled down creating a new pathway, there's no past residue of other pathways. It's brand new, so it's hard to create that new pathway. But if you keep going, then a new pathway can be built, right, with persistence. So in the same way, with your neurons, with repetition, the same way that you create certain neural pathways, you can start to create new ones. But this factor of neuroplasticity, it's there, but you can help it, you can enhance it, practicing mindfulness meditation on a regular basis. A lot of people think that children have more neuroplasticity than adults. While to some degree that may be true with really young babies, teenagers going through puberty, neural activity is going on at a heightened amount compared to other stages in life. But studies show that all throughout your life, neuroplasticity is a factor. So your belief that you are too old to change your mind, or too old to develop a new habit, or too old to change the way that you think about something, your belief in that is what is holding you back. And if you would like process to be a little bit easier, then practicing mindfulness on a regular basis can support you that shift. All right, everyone, those were my top 5 reasons why your affirmations are feeling kind of strange, or that you're not feeling impactful. And again, those were being too forceful. Maybe you are ignoring the evidence and not giving yourself credit. Maybe you're being boring and you're not really enjoying the process, making it into something creative, rhyming, having some fun, turning it into a song, singing. Maybe you're ignoring your body. You're not actually feeling the emotion that you want to feel. You're just relying on the words and not really getting embodied with expressing yourself, finding posture to also express yourself not only with the words, but with your physical, non-verbal body language. And finally, maybe you're not taking advantage of neural plasticity and mindfulness practice to really enhance all of the other factors involved. So I hope that was really helpful. If you'd like, you can click the link below to my free mindfulness guide to walk you through a way to shift your mindset around mindfulness so that you can get started with a solid practice. Okay, know what you think in the comments. Make sure you like and share and subscribe to my channel. I see a lot of you are not subscribed. You're enjoying my content, and that's great. I would love to share this with you. Do me a favor and subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. You get updated every time there's a new video. That would be amazing. All right, in the meantime, enjoy, and I will see you next time.